So since I've been doing these Elon Musk DOGE videos, of course the haters, or whatever you want to call them, I don't know what you want to call them, have been crawling out of the woodworks in the comment section. But I'm telling you, it's kind of interesting. They want to pretend like they're smarter than me or you or whoever, and tell you how dumb you are. But they have no argument. Yeah, I make a 15-minute video and I'm explaining how, you know, we're saving money, and today there's $98 billion that DOGE has found or saved or whatever the case is. I've even said in some of my videos, you know, the lawsuits will go through. We'll see which way everything sides. But I get a comment the other day, or yeah, last night. Dude, you're loony, bro. It's just the opposite of what you said. Something to that effect. I'm not going to do it verbatim, but it was, you're loony. Isn't it amazing how the other side just can name call? That's all they know how to do. So I even replied back, well, you know, at least we know why your side lost, because that's all you had to do is name call after I gave a 15-minute presentation on at least, you know, what I think, and you can call me loony. The thing is he apologized, kind of. I apologized for calling you loony, but I didn't know what else to say. Okay, so that's all you got, is loony. Then he tries to explain, and the entire time he's explaining basically why I'm not intelligent. You think, and you think, and you think. This is not what I think. This is what I've read, the facts that I've come up with, the argument that I've come up with. What's your argument? How are you saving us money? You know, the only thing you can do is criticize Elon. The only thing you can do is criticize Trump. The only thing you can do is criticize, make fun of me. But you don't have an argument. What is your argument? That we don't want to save money? That we want a guy in office that slept for the most of it, was on vacation most of the time? You know, I understand that you all think that Trump and Elon are a bunch of criminals. Fine, I understand that. As a matter of fact, I said I hope that Elon steals every cent that he finds the government has stolen from me. I hope he finds every bit of it, steals it, puts it in his pocket. That way I can at least have him arrested and pay me back. I would much rather go after Elon than go after the government that I can't go after. So the argument of you're stupid, Trump's stupid, Elon's stupid, just doesn't work anymore. Another one I got is you're an idiot. And I as many times as I've covered this in my video, you think they would catch on that I'm going to call them out every time. You're an idiot. Y-O-U-R. That's not you are. You are is Y-O-U''R-E. So you state that you're an idiot, and then explain that Trump and Elon are just idiots, you know. And so my reply is before you call someone an idiot, you might want to make sure you don't suffer the same affliction. And then I explain to them how to spell your. They never get back with me on that one. And if they do, they just say something like, you're an a-hole. Hey, I want to interrupt this video real quick and ask you to go to my other channel. There'll be an up next box at the end of this video to that channel. And check out the lawnmowers. I just got an email today from somebody who said, hey, you know what, I really appreciate your videos. He said, I had a chain come off my chainsaw. He said, I never had that happen before. I didn't know how to fix it. He said, but with your videos, I had the confidence to do it and repair it, and it made me feel really good to fix it. So even if you're not interested in small engine repair, you may learn something that you can do on your own and fix on your own and make you feel real good. Another one I got the other day was, or yesterday or last night, was the administration, or I'm sorry, Elon, does not have a right, W-R-I-T-E, right, W-R-I-T-E, which is not correct, that's R-I-G-H-T, does not have a right to go through personal records at the Treasury office, the Treasury. I'm glad these people that don't know how to spell have a law degree, because they make really bad lawyers, by the way, because as he was writing this, because it was, you can tell what time they wrote, the judge had already ruled that Elon does have a right to look through the records. So now he can go to the Treasury Department and start looking at those records. So how do people just assume they know what the law is? Is it because CNN says so? You know, I even said Trump may lose some of these. I'm pretty sure he's going to lose one of them. at the Supreme Court. But I mean, Trump's already winning at the federal level, so it must be pretty solid evidence. The other thing is you can't really say that Trump is breaking the law when what he is doing is reversing all of the last administration's executive orders. And the other thing is this DOGE, I just found out, is not a new department or not a new agency or whatever. I think it's an agency. It's not really a department, even though they call it a department. It's an agency. The only thing they did was, it was like in the past, some agency of digital technology or whatever it was. And so they renamed it to the DOGE, Department of Governmental Efficiency or whatever it is. They just streamlined it a little bit and made an executive order. Musk, the DOGE department, actually reports to the chief of staff. He also, I read the executive order, also reports to the secretaries of each department. So everybody keeps telling me, oh, Elon's making all these rules and just going in there and telling departments what to do. He's not. He's an advisory. I said this. So that's another one I got, is it's illegal for him to go in and just do these things. He can't just go in and to a department and change things. He's not. He's advising the president, who is an elected official, and the secretaries, who are confirmed by the Senate, his suggestions, and they either do it or don't do it. As a matter of fact, Elon said something the other day, and the press secretary disagreed with him. Now, it is interesting, you know, we're not allowed to fire anybody in the government because they all are union employees. I had this really intelligent teacher when I was a kid in high school, and my grades went from a C to I made a B honor roll. I was doing really well, I guess my sophomore year, because of this teacher. He taught kids how to learn. It was incredible. And it was social studies class, and we were talking about unions. And I asked the question, why aren't teachers in a union? He says, because the students have a right to an education. The students would suffer if the teachers went on strike. Well, what happened to that? And it used to be in the past that government workers couldn't be in unions. Back in the 80s, and I'm going off old memories here, so you have to bear with me, and some of it may not be exactly the point. But the air traffic controllers went on strike. Now, they weren't in a union. Now, Reagan had been in a union. He was a card-carrying member of the Guilds Actor Union, whatever it was. He says, I may be the only president that's ever been in a union. And he says, and I understand unions and think they're important. Government employees cannot go on strike because the country would shut down. Just like teachers can't go on strike because it would hurt the kids' right to an education. Well, that was his philosophy about government workers. Can't be in a union. So he ordered those air traffic controllers back, or you won't have a job. I don't think government workers should be in a union because you can't get rid of them. But I think what Trump's trying to do is he's going to push the issue and make the Supreme Court determine if it is unconstitutional. The Constitution calls out 3 branches of government. The executive, which is the president and his secretaries and anybody he hires. The legislative, which is Congress. And the judicial, which are the judges. But even the other side is saying that there is a 4th branch of government, which is the bureaucracy. Government employees, and they're not elected by anybody. Nobody controls them. So what they're saying is the president cannot fire these bureaucrats, government employees, because they're independent. So they're saying it's a 4th branch of government. Now, there was a law written in 1935, I think it was 1935, that says they cannot be fired. So it doesn't make any sense to me. Every one of these agencies works for a department in the government. So you go to the Social Security office. The Social Security office works for the Treasury Department or something like that. They work for an agency or a department head, which is the secretary, which is a confirmation. So how does this work? The president is in charge of all the departments, Department of Labor, those type of departments, who have secretaries that are confirmed by the Senate, who have employees working in these buildings that can't be fired. Because they're independent. Well, they're not independent. They work for the president. So I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to push the issue to make the Supreme Court find this law that was written in 1935 unconstitutional, which it obviously is. You cannot have government employees making decisions about tax dollars, how to spend them, without them being voted on. The reason there was a Revolutionary War was taxation without representation. So we have representation, but taxation is being implemented by a completely different branch of government, which is what we call the shadow government, that are unelected bureaucrats. That's taxation without representation. But on the same note, they just fired 3,600 probationary employees. The probationary employees means they were just hired within the last 90 days, and they're on probation until they prove themselves as worthy employees, show up to work every day, so for 90 days or whatever it is. So and that's going to save us $600 million. Now, the opposition is saying this is not a lot of money. Why are we worried about this kind of money? This is nothing. So what if Trump's been in office now just under a month, 3 or 4 weeks? If you go to the debt clock, you just type in debt clock, you'll see how much DOGE has saved us already. $93 billion is where we're at when I walked out here to make this video. $93 billion. That's almost $100 billion. So I'm thinking that he's going to be able to save us $1 trillion easily by next year when they eliminate DOGE. It just makes sense. How 600 million there, $1 billion here. You know, that's $600 million a year that we're saving. You know, that's not a lot of money. That's not a lot of money. Well, it's not a lot of money when you compare it to $36 trillion. No. But I wouldn't turn it down. It'd be like, oh, no, $600 million. That's just, no, forget it. Of course you want $600 million. We want every dime we can get. You know, Carolyn, just as an example, I throw all my change in the console of the truck. Open it up, throw it in there. Been doing that for 10 years now. So the other day, oh, probably last year, I guess, she went out and got some coin rolls and rolled all that up. And I think she's got like $300 or $400 in change. I was shipping around on the truck, wasting gas. So yeah, it all adds up. Okay, so if you know, since Elon's such a bad guy, we need to get rid of him immediately because he's going to steal all our money that the government's already stole from us. Think about what you're saying. Elon is going to steal the money that the government has already stole from us. So, I mean, what difference does it make? Oh, hey, yeah, we want that guy with $500 billion. He's going to steal our money. I mean, think about it. Even if he stole the $93 billion that he has just saved us, let's say that makes him $600 billion. Does that extra billion really make a difference? They suspect that Elon's going to be a trillionaire by the next decade. So, oh, but he makes all of his money from the government. Yeah, so he takes advantage of the government just like everybody else did. Okay, so at least he knows how it works. You know, I'm not defending the guy, I'm really not. I just want the money saved. And he's the one guy who volunteered to do it. So they just found $1.9 billion. Oh my gosh, that's $2 billion. Let's just call it $2 billion. They just found it. Now, it was being hidden by the Biden administration through through HUD. So this money was earmarked for financial, financial assistance, maybe financial services. It was earmarked for financial services. So Congress said this money has to be allocated to financial services for HUD. So my assumption to that would be is HUD was going to use that money to help people get houses. Well, they decided they didn't need it. The Biden administration decided they didn't need it. So they hid it to funnel it somewhere else. So it was found through DOGE. $2 billion was found, hidden by the Biden administration. And Secretary Turner, the guy who's in charge of HUD, is reallocating the money to the people where it belongs, through the HUD program. They talk about there's just no corruption in government. There can't be any corruption. Well, there's this story in St. Louis of this person who was funneling, she worked for the unemployment program. Worked for the unemployment program. And she was funneling money through all her friends. There was 80 different people that she was funneling some money into, giving them unemployment. And even if they had a job, she was giving it out to these people. And then they were kicking back some of that money to her. So she was making a fortune. She did it for several months and then finally got caught. Now, this is not a federal worker. This was a state worker. She was working from home part-time and in the office part-time. So while she was at home, she was, you know, clicking away at the keyboard, giving people money that she knew that would kick back money. So if it can happen in the state level, imagine what is happening in the federal level. So if you'll click this up next box, it'll take you to a video on my other channel. And we're working on a push mower today. So if I can inspire you to not be an idiot, seek live your dreams. Thanks for watching.